Hey guys, welcome back to Lavenderpolish. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Unicorn Dreams collection by Holotaco. It comes in this beautiful collection box that shines between blue and pink, and it's got these gorgeous little clouds on there, which I'm a big fan of. This collection has 2 creams and 3 unicorn skins. Now if you don't know, unicorn skins are sort of a fun little name for iridescent flakies, and they change colors drastically depending on what color you put them over. So in order to give you guys a really thorough and good swatch video, I have decided to swatch them over black, over white, over both the creams in this video, and also over a base color that matches the predominant color of the unicorn skin. And I also did them in matte. So please watch the rest of this video because I spent so much time doing swatches for this. But it was definitely worth it. They're very beautiful. So as usual, we're going to jump right in and I will save my thoughts for the very end. Let's go. Okay, so we are going to start off with the creams because you're going to be seeing them later on when they're swatched with the unicorn skins. So we're starting out with Scientific, which is this beautiful sky blue polish. The first coat was quite nice. As you can see, it's not entirely full coverage, but it's pretty close and it is quite a light color, so no complaints there for me. Holotaco has also recently revamped their cream formula and also added a wider cream brush, which I love because those narrow brushes, they really only work for me when I'm doing, you know, more gradients or more special effects polishes. I don't love how they work when you're using top coats or creams, so I'm very glad that they changed that up. I added a second coat and it was looking fantastic. I really like the color of this. It's a really cute lighter blue, not quite baby blue, but definitely nothing too bright either. Very nice, very casual. Gonna be something that's really good for spring and summer especially. Now this dried is sort of a half matte shade, which I actually really like. I kind of like when polishes do that. I think it's sort of fun and spicy. And then of course I put on a glossy top coat just so you can see what it looks like in its most natural state. Now the only issue that I did have with this polish is that I noticed there were some little bubbles in there. It was most noticeable on my thumb, as you can see here. They're just these little spots that I believe are bubbles. It could have been user error, but that's definitely something to keep in mind as we go through the rest of these swatches. Alright, cream number 2, we have What Do You Pink, which is this beautiful, very bubblegummy pink. I thought it was absolutely gorgeous. I thought it was really cute, really kind of girly and sweet. As you can see on the first coat, it is quite a bit thinner than Scientific was. However, Scientific was obviously being swatched on my short nails and What Do You Pink is being swatched on my long nails. I do have my nails at different lengths that can kind of mess with this sort of stuff. But even accounting for the length of my nails, I feel like it was still a little bit thinner than it should have been. After the second coat, it was looking a lot better, but it had a little bit of trouble fully self-leveling and it wasn't entirely opaque. It looks much better on camera, but I could sort of see this ridge down the middle of my nail where it wasn't fully flattened out and the color difference was bugging me a little bit. So I did end up having to put a third coat on for this. Now, personally, I do not like 3-coat creams. I feel like even though this color is light, it's not a pastel, and I feel as though it could have been achieved in just 2 coats. That being said, it did dry quite quickly and the polish layered on the top of itself quite nicely, so I didn't have any problems with it getting thick or glooping up and, you know, dragging itself down with the brush, which I thought was fantastic. This one did not really have the nice matte finish. It more just had sort of a gummy, not quite shiny finish, which I definitely like a little bit less. But as you can see here, once I added a glossy top coat, it was looking fantastic. I do think that this polish is such a pretty color. However, I did also have the same problems with a little bit of bubbling. You can kind of see on my middle nail where the light is sort of catching a little bit awkwardly. Just in a couple of spots, there's these little bubbles that came up through the polish. At this point, I'm thinking it's probably not user error just because I paint my nails all the time and I really don't have this problem. But I do know that Holotaco's top coats can have this problem, so I'm wondering if it's something to do with their formula. I have no idea. Maybe it's a coincidence, but that's my take on things. Now, the part that I think everybody has been waiting for. Let's get into the unicorn skins. I'm starting out with Lunar unicorn skin, and this was really the polish that just drew me to this collection, made me really want to buy it. In the bottle we can see that the predominant colors are blues, pinks, greens, yellows. It's absolutely stunning. It's very versatile in its colors. Here, as they put it on 1 coat over black, we're predominantly seeing the golds, reds, and greens coming out. There's a little fiery red flecks popping up in there. There's just so much packed onto just one nail with this, and I think it was so gorgeous. Here's how it looks with 1 coat of top coat. It went on very smoothly. The flakes did not pop up at all. I was using a very thin top coat on here just to test if that would work or not, and it worked perfectly. As you can see, as we get closer to light sources, the polish turns much more green and blue, which I love. This polish really slipped into colors very easily. I did not have to move it around too much at all to be able to see the full spectrum that it was able to give me. And with a matte black, you can see that the color doesn't change too much, but it makes the flakies all really nice and crisp and gorgeous, which I love. Everyone knows that you have to matte black. all the flakes that you can find. And of course, even when it's matte, you still get that beautiful blue tinge right at the edges when you bring it close to a light. It even seemed to be brighter with the matte, which I thought was so cool. Just look at how bright and like electric blue that is. So pretty, oh my goodness. And of course, over white, here's the crazy part about unicorn skins. This is the same polish, and look at what the color is. Now we're seeing the other end of the color spectrum. We're seeing purples and blues with a little bit of pink and slight bits of gold up and down the middle where the light hits it. Oh my gosh. I mean, this is really the magic of unicorn skins. You're basically getting a million polishes in one. Just one coat over any sort of color can completely transform both the base polish and the unicorn skin itself. As this one hits light at different angles, it definitely turns much more green, the blue comes out a little bit more, and over matte we see this sort of opalescent feel coming through. I thought it looked absolutely stunning. I love how the gold runs up and down the middle when the light hits it. It's so pretty. Okay, I keep saying pretty and beautiful and gorgeous, but I don't know what else to say about it. Over Scientific, Lunar Unicorn Skin definitely brings out a lot more of the blues and purples in the outside. We still get those gorgeous reds and yellows sparkling up and down the middle. By the way, this formula applies very, very nicely. It only takes one thin coat and you get a huge amount of coverage, which I think is pretty fantastic. Sometimes other brands, they'll be much more thinned out. You'll have to apply maybe 2 or 3 coats to get this sort of coverage, but that is up to personal preference, because if you are trying to get a thin coat, you're not really going to get that with Holotaco. However, I'm a big fan. Over What Do You Pink, again we're seeing a lot more of the blues, but there are still more reds shining out around the corners, which I thought was really fun. You get this really pretty contrast with the blues and the pinks, and of course the little bits of pink sparkling around the edges. Fantastic. And finally, because this is a predominantly gold or yellow unicorn skin, I decided to put it over a yellow polish. And this is probably my favorite combination out of all of them for Lunar Unicorn Skin. The yellow really just shines through beautifully in this. And you see this whole array of sort of opalescent flakes shimmering through. You really get a huge spectrum of colors in here. So pretty. I don't know what else to say besides so pretty. This is going to be a very repetitive video because the unicorn skins are all going to have similar effects between them, but bear with me. So feel free to just mute me and watch if you need to. Next up we have a Galactic Unicorn Skin, which in the bottle has predominantly green and pink flakes. Applying it over black, you see the green really popping out. Christine actually did mention that she thought about calling this Radioactive Unicorn Skin, which I think would have been the perfect name. Like, this looks radioactive. I mean, this looks like it'll give you an unhealthy dose of something. I love how the green stands out, and this one the shift is much less prominent, so you can really only see the blues and pinks around the edges, but I personally am a bit of a fan of that effect. I think that it makes it look a bit more mysterious almost. As you can see in the swatch videos, this is with one coat of top coat. As we bring it closer to light sources, we're going to see it expand much more into the blues and purples of the spectrum, and these purples shine. It is such a vibrant color, and I was in love with how it looked. This might have actually been my favorite unicorn skin. Oh my god, don't tell Lunar, because I thought that Lunar was going to be the one I would love the most. Over matte, it looked wonderful. I love how nice and crisp the edges are. I love how Holotaco really has these jagged and different sized flakes for their unicorn skins. It's a very fun effect and it's incredible to look at. Now over white, this polish completely does a 180, and now we're seeing predominantly pink with little bits of green scattered throughout. I mean, come on. How is this the same polish? How is this the exact same polish? One bottle and you're getting all these different effects? Oh my gosh. This was probably my favorite combination over white. I think that it looked very sort of jewel-ish, you know, very opalescent. I feel like you'd find this on jewelry, you know. With a matte top coat, the flake is to definitely sort of disappear into the white, but I think that that looks kind of badass. It looks a little bit kind of reptilian, the way that it shines, you know, like, oh look, it's matte white, and then you get closer and it's like, whoa. It's shimmering, it's green, it's pink, what's going on? I feel like it's something a rich person would wear. Anyways, over Scientific, I messed up putting it on my nail, but once I got it on there, we once again saw green coming predominantly to the front with little bits of blue surrounding it. In this one, the flakes really do fade into the background, except for where the light directly hits them when we see the green shining out very, very nicely. And over What Do You Pink, we once again see the pink-sided spectrum coming out a little bit more, while green stays in the light. This is sort of how unicorn skins and iridescent flakes will work, is that there'll be one sort of predominant color that will mainly come out when it's over black, and when it's over other sort of shades, it will really only be in the highlight of it, while everything else sort of conforms to a different color spectrum based on whatever it's over. And last but not least, I put Galactic Unicorn Skin over a dark green to see how that would look, and oh man, this looks like jade. This looks like an actual jewel. I mean, it looks thick, it looks layered, it's crazy for me to believe this is only one coat of the polish. I like how around the edges you're seeing little bits of reds and purple, but mainly it just looks like an absolute sea of glittering crystals. God damn. And last but not least, we have Sonic Unicorn Skin. This one is predominantly blue and yellow inside of the bottle, and when I put it on over black, it was a bright, bold blue. This one shifted definitely the least out of all three of them. As you can see on the nail, it pretty much only shows blues. You can see the tiniest hints of purple around the very edges. But it is clear that this one is meant to be a blue unicorn skin, just like your good old favorite hedgehog Sonic. Now, while a lot of people I think prefer unicorn skins that shift, I do kind of like the simplicity of these ones that are just meant to look kind of bold and simplistic and frankly nice. I do wish it shifted a little bit more, but the blue color over the black I think is just such a gorgeous and striking combination that I'm pretty okay with the fact that it doesn't shift too much. It's sparkly and beautiful, what more can I say? With a matte top coat on, I think it looks even cooler. The blue bounces a lot more, it shifts slightly more easily, as you can see around sort of the middle now there's a bit more purple sparkles in there. Definitely does not shift as much as Galactic and Lunar though, so keep that in mind. And of course, as I bring it to a different angle with the light source, we're seeing little bits of purple and orange even coming out. Now, over white was a bit of a different story. Here in this swatch, it does look much more green toned. There's little bits of blue down the center. But as you're gonna see in a second, most of the time when it was over white, it was very yellow. And now I think that the blue streak down the middle looks incredible. It looks like blue lightning. It's fantastic. But I'll be honest, the yellow seemed a little bit kind of looks like yellow snow to me, I'm gonna be honest. I think the matte definitely subdued that effect a little bit, but I couldn't shake the feeling that it was like a little bit urine-esque. You know, to each their own, personally not my thing. I don't hate it, I do love how the blue looks, but yellow might not have been the route I would have gone. I'd definitely keep these over darker colors in the future. Over Scientific, it was looking pretty snazzy. The yellows were much more green and we still got that gorgeous electric blue. Definitely prefer this over white. There's something about the blue flakes down the middle in this one where they just look so different to the other flakes on the other polishes. They look almost wrinkled, a little more kind of velvety and soft. Like I feel like they'd be so fun to touch, you know, does that make sense? Anyways, over What Do You Pink, the yellow and green spots turn definitively orange. I'm discovering that this color is actually quite versatile. It doesn't shift too much on its own, but when it's over different colors, we're really going from greens to pinks to oranges to, you know, blues or whatever. We're going nuts. And of course, I put it over a nice dark blue to show you what that would look like. And I really, really like this one. This is probably my favorite of this color. Also, I'm really noticing how curved my pointer fingers are. I was not aware that they were on that dramatic of an angle. Oh my god. Anyways, that concludes the swatching portion of the video. Now let's get on to the most important part, which is how I feel about all this. Let's get into it. So this full collection is currently available on the website for $60. So with that, you're getting 5 polishes and this collection box. However, apparently they're pretty low in stock. I don't know if they'll still be up by the time this video goes up, so we'll find out. And individually, the unicorn skins cost $13 each, while the creams cost $11 each. So you know what that means, kids? You're actually getting a $1 discount if you buy the whole thing together, plus you get a collection box. That's pretty cool. Now, I do think that these are pretty fair prices for each of these products. The unicorn skins, for sure, I think $13 is fair enough. It is getting to the slightly more expensive side for nail polish and for indie brands, but they are much more of a unique product, so I'm not mad about it. And the creams, $11 for me is also pretty solid. At least where I live in California, everything's like hella expensive, so even drugstore nail polish is about $10 to $11 each. So I'm happy to pay $11 for a cream. How I felt about these creams specifically though? I mean, I was a little bit underwhelmed by them. Of course, What Do You Pink did take 3 coats for me to get on my nails, which I was not super jazzed about, and I did have a little bit of bubbling issue with them. And on top of that, the colors just aren't the most exciting things in the world. Now, I think that there's a good reason for that. Holotaco is only about 1.5 years old, so with things like their creams, of course they're going to start with the basics. They're not going to be releasing all these crazy new colors anytime soon. But for me personally, I feel like I could get each of these colors from a drugstore without having to pay the extra costs for shipping and all that. So personally, I think I'll be waiting until they're able to expand their cream collection a little bit more and can give me some more exciting colors before I buy creams from them again. Again, just my personal opinion. I would like to try these out with gradients at some point to see how they work with that. But yeah, I think I'm going to stick to the Holotaco special effects, more indie style polishes for a little bit. And the unicorn skins, I really, really liked these. Now, I don't use unicorn skins a ton in my nail art. However, I do use them all the time when I'm layering stuff on my nails. Whenever I just don't want to do anything fancy, I just want to have some nice colors on there. Right now I've got some red with a unicorn skin over the top of it, and they're just kind of my go-to. They jazz up everything, so I'm very happy to have 3 more of them. And with the addition of these, we now have a beautiful sort of 6-toned rainbow of unicorn skins from Holotaco. We have, I believe, a pink, a purple, a blue, a green, a yellow, and an orange. So you really get that whole spectrum, and you can use them over whatever base colors you want to create a huge variety of different effects. So I'm very happy about that. So if you are planning on purchasing just a couple of these but don't want all of them, I would definitely recommend the unicorn skins over the creams. And out of the unicorn skins, I think Galactic might be my favorite. It's between Galactic and Lunar. I think that they're both beautiful. If you want to just get 2, definitely get both of those. But Galactic might edge out Lunar just a tiny bit because of how stunning that green was. Oh man, and it just looks fantastic over white as well, you know? It's really a magical polish. And if you want to talk about the box for a second, it's this beautiful sort of blue to pink and purple iridescent box. It has Holotaco on the front, some lovely little clouds in there. And when we open it up, it says nails in the clouds, which is very stunning, very cute. We've got these 5 little polish slots in here. I'm definitely going to be hanging on to this. I do keep all my fun little boxes off on the windowsill over here, just for sort of like fake room decoration, I guess. Alright, I think that is about all I have for you guys today. Please let me know what you thought of this video, what you think of the collection. Did you buy it? Are you planning on buying it? Did you like my swatches? It took me a lot of time to do, so I really hope that you did. If not, that's okay. I would really appreciate if you could like this video and subscribe if you'd like to see some more of this content, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!